Wake up. If you're mentally weak, y'all, spiritually they feast, y'all. You better check your masters and your motherfucking sheep. If you're mentally weak, y'all, spiritually they feast, y'all. You better check your masters and your motherfucking sheep, dog.
Hey, enjoy it. Enjoy your meal. And listen, call back during 2024 anytime. I have another caller coming in. Have a great night. All right, we have another caller coming in. We have about 8 minutes left here, so let's get some callers in. Infinite Plane Radio. Hey,
Hey, what's good, Tim? It's Mr. Tamiaje.
hey, what's up? What's up? That last caller is caller of the year. Hey,
Yeah,
what?
hey, shout out to him, bro. Shout out to him. And I want to say, shout out to Lynn. I was friends with her on Facebook before I moonwalked out that bitch. She's a
Awesome.
wild one. I see where she's coming from, but she also has to understand we're not all 72. So we don't want to see it all come down to that shit. And I see both of your points. I think both of you are absolutists to a degree, but I can see both of your points. Both of you are very, very, very valid. And Lickety Split was fire, so salute to him. And what's up to G33 in the comments, with all respect. Shout
Awesome.
out to the Penguins, man. Y'all got me over 100 subscribers, so that's much love. I hope all of you have a beautiful motherfucking New Year.
Good. I'm glad that you shared that, and I hope more people catch on. And I'm going to actually be subscribing with my own channels. And what we're doing here is we're building a network, and it's just going to grow through 2024. And it's in the chat, it's in the calls, it's in people subscribing to each other and knowing each other from Facebook. Lynn and I have been back and forth on topics like this for a long time, and it always leads somewhere. It really
Yeah, I
does.
know. I mean, yeah, that's how I became friends with her, from hearing her on here a few years back and shit. But no, man, I think you guys have great points, but I'm kind of interested, and I won't take up too much of your time, but I notice you guys keep saying simulated, right? And even Lynn touched on that as far as certain degrees of a simulation. And I'm just curious if you guys look at that as only a metascript perspective or as also a metaphysical truth.
Right. I look at it, I specifically look at it as only a metaphor for a series or system of lies, a worldview. So I don't look at it
Okay,
as
so I just want to
literal.
know where you guys are coming from. Yeah, I just want to know where you're coming from when you guys say it, because you guys say simulated so much, and you guys are usually referring to the drills.
Yeah, usually we are referring to basically the internal concept of the mind or the world in the mind that is largely created with drills and simulated events. So they use fake events to insert these fake constructs into your mind, and then your internal worldview becomes fake augmented, a simulation of the real thing.
Right, I get that, no doubt.
And
I
it's
get
already a
that, no doubt.
simulation if you
I
think
just,
about it. Like your mind's
yeah, for sure,
it
because
already is, but they just
exactly,
contaminate it.
exactly. That's where I was going to take it. Exactly, that's where I was going to take it, because I come from a mystic point of view, and I just think that's reality in general. Now, there is this so-called simulation theory that people are being like, we are living in a simulation, but that would imply that there's another base reality, right? And so
Exactly.
I feel like through fraction, just the fraction nature of the universe, how it breaks down to fractals. You know what I'm saying? That even if we go down to a new reality, it would still be governed by spirit. You know what I mean? Like, this reality is governed by the unconscious, which is not seen, right? We are having this human experience, as you and I have spoke of. So it breaks down to a simulation. The Hindus used to call it the Maya. It's the dream of God, bro. It's like we're in the mind of God or whatever this is. But I don't believe that there is any other reality outside of this so-called simulation, because I believe that they are just using the word simulation to try to quantify mysticism. And mysticism will tell you that, we are in the dream of the
Oh,
very
yes.
thought that said, I want to create some shit.
Yeah, I
So
can
I
see
was just
that.
trying to
They definitely have taken the
to see what you
language.
guys are coming from.
Yeah, they reboot mystic concepts, authentic spiritual concepts, and dress it up like sci-fi.
And then
Like
they put it outside of you in some scientific fact, and that's what
exactly.
bothers me.
Like we could take your soul and put it in a microchip. I'm like, or upload your
No, you
consciousness, not
can't.
not your soul, but your consciousness through all of your internet
Right.
postings. And like that's not even
Yeah.
close.
Right.
That's not even close. And when
Because The microchip itself is consciousness. You see where I'm coming from? So when they're talking about ruling our consciousness, our very biology breaks down to consciousness, right? Like it breaks down to the observer effect, to like, they used to always say, if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, would you hear it? And I'd like to change that to, if a tree falls in the woods and if no one's around, are there any fucking woods? Because there's no observer there. That's how mystical this place really breaks down to, right? Like we really are in the simulation, bro. This place is malleable. You see what I'm saying? I'm proving that in my own life, and I know I'm not just one in whatever billion people that they lie about who is having this experience. So when I talk about simulation, I'm saying that's why we should tap in and know thyself and understand your power, because then you can code the simulation with your intentions and belief.
Yeah, this is a fascinating area because when you get into like this idea that, okay, you have the real world you live in, your body, your terrestrial survival, then you have your mental concept of it. But then if we are spiritual beings, then it's another level of attenuation from your true being. So you got your soul into your body, then your body's put through this TV screen. So there's layers that were in this thing. And I happen to think that at some point when you get into the philosophical breakdown of how you understand your worldview and you break away from the deception of the media, I think you get closer to reality, which I think is sort of analogous to how seeing things from a spiritual point of view would take you even further from the illusion that you are just this physical being incarnated in this time space.
Right.
You want to call it.
You're always spot on. You're always spot on with that type of stuff, bro. But then it kind of confuses me because I'll hear you clown on the Mandela effect, right? And then in that notion, you kind of sound like a materialist. So it kind of like throws me off, and that's no slight to you, bro.
No, I understand.
I
understand. And look, the Mandela effect.
It's just kind of confusing, but I understand that, right?
Yeah, I make a point that I'm not denying the spiritual or even like anything that we might consider transcendent. However, I don't think the Mandela effect is valid evidence. I think it's in fact a distraction because it relies on bypassing our critical thinking. It's actually a mind F. But I don't think that I'm negating spirituality in itself, because a lot of the times, and this is the strange part to me, is I find synchronicities and patterns in my real life, and these somehow also kind of mirror the way we see these contrived synchronicities in the news. And so like I think it's sort of on a continuum. Like I don't think there's a separation between body and soul, but rather it's a continuum that in our physical body or from our when we're alive in these flesh suits or whatever, I don't think it's separate. I think it's a continuum, and that we have higher awareness that we're just cut off of because of our limitations, distraction.
So you're probably in the same school of thought to where death doesn't really scare you anymore, because you understand like this is all consciousness. This is all just like what's the next level type shit, right?
I've auto-hoaxed death, and until I experience it myself as the end, I'm not going to believe that's the end. And I even think that I have.
I fuck with it. I like it, bro.
Yeah, I've gone that far because I've just in my own experiences with people dying, I've had too many instances that has suggested to me that physical death is not the end.
They were still around.
Exactly.
Okay.
How do you explain that?
Okay, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, bro. So you know what? What's beautiful is that we will all, in this individuation, and I don't know if you subscribe to that, bro, but I just feel you are very much a mystic, but you're just, I don't know, bro. You're a closeted comic and a wordsmith, because some of the shit you come up with, like Kool-Aid and shit, like, I don't know, bro. I just salute it, and I try to break it down, because I'm like, I know at times I become an absolutist, right? Like, I don't want to negate the fact that I'll come off as paradoxical at times, because I'll be like, oh, we don't want to be absolutists, but then I'll turn around and be like, you're God, homie, and that's an absolute truth. So I understand we're all going to be victims of that circumstance, right? But I just find it fascinating, bro, to hear you break it down through your terminology and auto hoax death and shit like that. Like, that's fire, bro, because to me you're speaking the same language just in your own variation of it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your feedback and your call. And please, someone asked if you could post your channel link again, get some more subscribers there.
Hey,
And yeah, like,
every single time I try to post it, it never links. Like, I'm an old head, bro, so I just go and I try to like copy a video and I try to post it in there, but it never has like the blue hyperlink or whatever. So I apologize for that, but I'll post it, and it's always just Mr. TAMIAJ in the comments. And I appreciate all you penguins and shit and people checking out my content and showing love to a player like me, because it does mean a lot.
okay, you know what? I have to give you a mod status. I'll make that happen tonight, Mister. Again, you said
TAMIAJ.
TAMIAJ, and
TAMIAJ.
that's in the chat.
So
I saw you there.
TAMIAJ. There you go.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah. Can you please explain it to a dinosaur like myself, my brother, what the fuck that even is? A mod?
Oh yeah.
And what
Okay.
the wrench even means?
Yeah. When we first started on YouTube with these types of chats, we would be flooded by haters and trolls who would
Right.
just rip on us. So what I would do is I would make everybody a moderator, which gives them a little blue wrench, and that means that they can
Okay.
ban trolls and they can post links. And then I realized
Oh,
every
that's what
person
okay.
that makes a quality comment gets a wrench. We build up a big chat room of
Okay.
mods, and we excluded trolls, and we created a safe space for the think tank. So the blue wrench is one of our channel symbols. And
Okay, so then shout out to G33, because that was the one who recommended that I get one of those. So I appreciate it, because I put my heart and soul into my music and in my message, and it's not about me. Look, bro, I'm just a simple fucking man, and I had such a beautiful experience from tapping into these powers of ours, and I know for a fact that I'm not special. And so the fact that I was able to carve out this reality of mine and this experience of mine amongst all this fuck shit and the mental fortitude, I just want to share that with people. I feel like it's my responsibility. So I really appreciate anybody who does check out my shit, and the fact that I can post a link now, and to everybody just showing love in the comments and shit.
awesome, appreciate it. And we do make a point, and we have always made a point to emphasize creativity. We realize that the people who post memes, the people who create, have a different mindset than the ones who are just there to detract or who aren't really about the ideas and sharing ideas, real philosophy, love of knowledge. And so like that's kind of the culture we've built here. And so I'm glad you're here, and I found a link to your channel, so we're posting it. So thanks again.
That's what's up. That's what's up, Tim. I hope you have the best that you can have next year, and the same to everybody hearing my voice right now.
Wonderful. All right. Well, you have a great evening. Thanks for the call, and have a happy new year.
All right, man. I'll talk to you later, player. Later.
Awesome. Great callers as always, and great to have creative minds around, because what we're doing here is a lot of creative work. And and I thank you for saying this about the wordsmithing, and it is true. We realized early on that they do not give you the words that you would need to see your way out of their labyrinth, to think your way out of it. We've had to come up with phrases. We've had to use new words to describe new concepts or banned concepts. And it's a very powerful thing. Words are powerful. Knowledge is power. The knowledge of, for example, simulated news events passed off as real crisis actors. Just the words crisis actor. Very triggering. Why? Because if you look into that, it's like dominoes. You realize, wait, it's fakeable. Wait, they're all liars on all sides, and nobody calls out the lies. And if you call out the lies, they call you a hoaxer, a hater, a conspiracy theorist. This is all, it's powerful stuff. And we've developed a lexicon, and we have fine-tuned it in order to understand our world.
Wake up. If you're mentally weak, y'all, spiritually they feast, y'all. You better check your masters and your motherfucking sheep. If you're mentally weak, y'all, spiritually they feast, y'all. You better check your masters and your motherfucking sheep, dog.
Oh shit, no shit, boy, he can go shit. Never did fuck with the fake or the hoe shit. Whoa shit, note this game when I spoke this. Getting evident that I got a lot of gnosis.